We all have a personal filter that decide our view of the world and the people in it. The way we relate with people is determined by our experience, background, expectations, and personality. Can we think of a better way we deal with difficult people? Can we shift from a victim who's being defensive to a responsible adult who can work with different people, or a critique who passes the judgment? Coming up. If you're new to this channel, we provide direction on how to become an entrepreneur by using sound strategies and tactics. As an entrepreneur, you want to build and protect your business to spend the time with people you love and care. Let's jump right in. We usually take one-sided view of the problem once our mind takes us down the emotional path. Remember this trick when dealing with difficult people: tagging, righteousness, intention, confirmation, keenness, which is the guide that drives us to act in a particular way. Let's start with tagging. Most times, this usually leads to classification. You will notice that it is very easy to notice other people's flaws while ignoring our own shortcomings. We are fast at tagging others as argumentative, arrogant, opinionated, a liar, cynic, condescending, potentials, cheat, fake, manipulative, needy, you name it. We say all these without even making an attempt to understand the person. And note, when they hold as important, whatever they hold as important, what could be driving their behavior, their belief system, right? All we do is just to place people into buckets. There is a part of our brain that automatically and unconsciously help us tag people. This is without our awareness. This part of the brain helps us apply shortcomings when we are dealing with people. Our brain will be granted permission to act in a certain way if we classify people into easy or difficult. After tagging, next is righteousness. Our brain moves to name calling. Our body tightens up the moment we find someone difficult. Not only we lose flexibility in our body, but we lose it in our response. This is when we start having a belief in the righteousness of what we want, why a person deserves to be treated in a certain way, how we feel, and so on. We are rejecting their ideas too. Once we reject them as a person, we stand and stick to it. It is this our fixed view that allows us to rationalize why a person is acting in a particular way. Before we take a deeper dive into more explicit tactics, please like and subscribe, hit the bell icon so you can get notification as soon as I put more contents. When you subscribe to my channel, you will gain insights into why success depends on our ability to build and inspire so we can take action towards achieving your goals by getting best-in-class contents and training experiences. Let's look at intention. Intention is powered by assumption. We assume that they are acting out of a bad intent. Once we know we are right and the other person is indeed difficult, we assume bad intentions as the source of the problem without applying a mental model to understand their behavior and look for alternate perspective. Without showing any intent to understand the other person and their action, we choose to live with our assumptions. Therefore, our belief is strengthened with the incorrect way of taking people from a difficult perspective. We just tag them, right? Next is confirmation. Our belief is confirmed now. Every interaction serves as a validation when we tag someone as difficult. Confirmation bias holds as we hold on to the perception in all our discussions. Confirmation makes us blind to evidence that negate our beliefs and look for information that supports our point of view. So whatever the person does or says is viewed with the skewed perspective that supports our perception of how difficult they are, even when an interaction with them is normal. Instead of attempting to view every situation differently, we stick to our first impression. Let's look at keenness. We don't even bother to look inward to think about what could we have done that is making the other person to act in a particular way. We expect others to act in a certain way without changing our behavior. We are always led to the desire to fix people when we assume that they are faulty. Even though they are at fault, you can't fix them. The best that can be done is to take charge of things within your circle of control. This trick is played by our mind to help us make sense of the world and the people in it. Your brain will run on autopilot when you label someone difficult and sticking to it. Whereas taking control requires deliberate thinking and conscious efforts. Check out my book on Amazon, The Art of Managing Change, Leadership and Lifelong Learning. With the guidance provided in this book, you will be well on your way to understand the tactics to deal with difficult people. Any strategy we try to practice will be superficial without understanding our mind, as it won't address the background emotions, which is the most important part that has to do with dealing with difficult people we find, and meet on regular basis. Down below in comment section, share your thoughts on which tactics you like the most. How do you see yourself advancing your ambitions in business to make name for yourself? Thank you for listening in, and I'll bring you more quality content next week. Take care.